This happened a couple of days ago. I, male 34, have a 9-year-old daughter who picked up playing the piano at 5, and I seriously see her as a prodigy. She composes her own symphonies. She is destined to be massively successful. And I've gotten her to play at weddings, a church a few times, and other social events. Anyways, my sister, female 26, was one of those rainbow baby situations, and given that fact, my whole family has obsessed over her since her birth. She's incredibly entitled and spoiled, and was especially upset when our parents began caring more about my late wife's pregnancy with our daughter. You may think she and I act the same, but my daughter's piano talent is not my or her only personality. It just takes up a large portion of our lives. And it's not all I talk about, or the only thing my daughter has for herself. We had family fly in from Germany for one of her big recitals for the first time in a few years. My daughter did amazingly, but the whole time my sister was saying that they're only impressed because of how young she is, and that she could do this, and none of us would be amazed. She proceeded to make the whole recital about herself, and when we went out to dinner to celebrate after, my sister was making snarky comments to my daughter that it wasn't that good. I asked her why she had such a vendetta against a 9-year-old, and why she couldn't just, for once, have the attention be on someone else for a damn night, and that if she was going to complain, she shouldn't have come at all. She was very upset at this and told me how I took away her childhood by forcing her to pursue music, which she had come to me and her late mother about, and it ensued a massive fight between us, and she ended up leaving early and going back to her hotel room. My parents say that I shouldn't have lashed out on her like that, and they have since apologized for making her feel left out. They leave for their flight tomorrow night, and my sister won't talk to me. So, am I the idiot? Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your sister is jealous of a 9-year-old, which is a bit sad, so while you were rude, you weren't wrong. I will say though, musicians are rarely massively successful. LOL. If she is that good, she will get a lot of attention while she is a child, but once she grows up, the novelty of being a child prodigy will wear off, and if she isn't prepared for that, it's going to be hard going for her. She might make a living out of music if she is lucky. You aren't the one that decides if she is a prodigy either, by the way. Other professionals have to make that pronouncement. You are her father. You think everything she does is amazing, so you may be blowing it out of proportion. I hope you aren't building her up for a huge fall. I'm always wary of parents who think their kids are geniuses and prodigies with no one outside of their family to back it up. Comment 2. Not the idiot, but while it sounds as if your daughter is amazingly talented, please don't get too attached to the promise of a massively successful music career. Not because it's hard, but because your daughter may lose interest in the piano someday, and she'll need you to be okay with that if she does. A lot of parents make their kids continue hobbies they hate just because of natural ability, which ends up killing it forever. Right now, it sounds like your daughter loves it, which is great. But if she ever says, "Dad, I'm bored of the piano. I want to play softball instead," then, even if she sucks at softball and is passing up a scholarship to Juilliard, please support her. Even if you are crying on the inside, just smile for her. She will need that. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your sister needs to grow up, and your parents need to stop sheltering and fueling your sister's selfishness. Your daughter is 9. That is impressive. And your sister just can't seem to be happy for anyone. Tell your sister and parents if they can't come to support your daughter without making it about themselves, then they're uninvited. Your daughter deserves to be surrounded by people who are genuinely supportive of her, not selfish people who only think about themselves and will poop on a kid who's doing their best. Keep it going. You're a good father. Now, for the next story. Throwaway, because I don't know if my family is on Reddit. I, 28-year-old female, and my fiancé, 30-year-old male, are planning our wedding, and originally wanted his niece, 3-year-old, and my niece, 5-year-old, to be co-flower girls. My niece is the only little girl in my family, so it's pretty much expected by the whole family that she will be a flower girl in our wedding. For some background, many members of my family, myself included, think that she is on the autism spectrum, but my sister and brother-in-law refuse to entertain any idea of that being a possibility. I absolutely adore my niece, but after seeing her as the flower girl in my brother's wedding last week, I do not want her in mine. Examples include chucking the flower petals at the guests like she was pitching a Major League Baseball game, screeching through the entire ceremony, getting up onto the altar and doing a fortnight dance while they were exchanging their vows, climbing onto the tables during dinner, going to the middle of the dance floor during the wedding party speeches and taking her dress off and grabbing the microphone to announce that she had to poop. She is an only child, so my sister and brother-in-law think this is completely normal for her age and that her antics are just the cutest. So it's not easy to ask them to supervise her more closely, and to be honest, I don't trust that they would if I asked. I love my niece, but she is out of control in formal settings. I feel really selfish for thinking that she will ruin my wedding, but I was mad for the bride last week and can't imagine how I would feel if it were me. I don't want to upset anyone by not asking her or having to explain why I'm not asking her, and she will still be invited to the wedding, so I'm sure there will be some antics. But after discussing it with my fiancé, we agree that we do not want her to be a part of the ceremony. So, will I be the idiot for asking his niece to be our flower girl and excluding my own? Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. This girl's parents should have coached and prepared her to be a flower girl. My daughter was also a flower girl at my sister's wedding at the age of 3, and I would have been mortified if she had behaved like that. I would definitely have removed her from the room the moment she began screeching, and when she asked why we were sitting out in the car, I would have explained that we weren't going back until she had calmed down. Of course, it never got to that point at the wedding, because I had already established standards for public behavior in far less formal situations. It's sad that your sister and brother-in-law are effectively depriving your niece of opportunities by refusing to properly parent her. Comment 2. You would not be the idiot, and you should also tell them they cannot bring her to the wedding. Climbing onto the tables during dinner, going to the middle of the dance floor during the wedding party speeches, and taking her dress off and grabbing the microphone to announce that she had to poop. This will not be solved by just not having her as a flower girl. Her parents are assholes, so this is not her fault, but she should not be allowed to come and ruin the wedding. Comment 3. My son is nonverbal autistic. He stims, he screams, he gets mad, and lets everyone know it. I am so happy when somebody's like, "We'd invite you, but please understand you can't come because of BER." And I instantly go, yes. I don't want to bring him there, to be honest. He'll hate it. I'll hate it because I'll be focused on him, and you'll hate the focus being on him. Ta-da. I'm forever excused from everything formal because of my son, and I love it, not the idiot. Now for the next story. I'm in the waiting room with 2 other people. We are all having surgery and have been told to avoid food and drink since last night. A younger man in his 30s seems nervous, but started eating chocolate. Was immediately told not to by us, but continued. "Oh, they won't know," he replied. Am I the idiot for telling the nurses that he was eating? One told me that if he has eaten, his surgery will be delayed for 6 hours, or even canceled. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. When I had my surgery for breast cancer, they told me, no water or food since midnight the day before, and so I did. In the pre-operation room, a nurse asked the patients if the rule had been respected. The woman in the bed next to mine said she had tea that morning because she was thirsty. They sent her back to her room and postponed the surgery for 6 hours. There's a reason for that, and I can't imagine what would have happened if they had operated on that man who had just eaten. Not the idiot. Comment 2. I'm now post-surgery myself. It all went well, and thank you all for your thoughts and comments. Signal is poor here, so I hope this goes out. Update. The person in question was seen going into the toilets with mouthwash and a toothbrush, no doubt in an attempt to hide the evidence, but nurses were told, and his operation was canceled for the day. A waste of a theater place and a hospital bed that could have been used by someone else. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You potentially saved his life. There's a reason we tell people not to eat X hours before surgery. Otherwise, you run the risk of aspirating vomit if you throw up during surgery, which many people do. You'll have a pipe in your throat to your airway, and vomit will go right to your lungs. That's called aspiration pneumonia, and it's deadly. Now, for the next story. My husband and I are competitive ballroom dancers and have danced together since we were children. My friend is getting married, and as a wedding gift, my husband and I have been giving my friend and her husband-to-be private dance lessons for their first dance. 3 times a week, we meet up with them for an hour to work on their routine. They have really improved, and we feel they are ready for their first dance. Beyond meeting us to practice their routine and keep it locked in, they don't need anything else. Today, my friend admitted to me that she doesn't want my husband and me dancing at her reception. as she feels it would steal the attention away from her and her husband. As this is our job, and we'll always be so much better than them. I was quick to assure her that we had no intention of doing anything even resembling a routine, and at most we'd just be having fun or doing a slow dance. But she wasn't happy with this, and claimed that with how we moved together, even that would be too much. I'm honestly shocked by this, and more than a little hurt. We can easily tone it down to a normal standard of dancing, and do so all the time at things like weddings for this very reason. We love dancing, and the fact she wants us to just sit there and not join in the dancing all night long makes both my husband and me a little uncomfortable. He has suggested we just wait until everyone has a few drinks in them, and then join in the dancing when it won't be noticed. But I worry this could make us assholes, as she's asked us to not dance. That being said, what else would we do after the meal? As it's going to be hours and hours of dancing. The only thing I can think of beyond that is that we simply leave after the meal, but I don't want to seem like we're angry either. Edit. We have sent off some texts to non-dancer friends who have seen us dance at weddings. We've danced at their weddings and asked if they felt we were attention-grabbing or too flashy when we danced. They were confused about why we're asking, but assured us they never noticed anything like that. Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Utterly, completely. Not the idiot. Please ignore the people saying it's a small ask. It's not. I have friends like you. I love watching them dance. And they dial it back at weddings, including mine. And yes, anyone can tell they know what they're doing. So what? Is this bride telling her gorgeous friends to tone down their makeup? This is a crappy way to treat guests. It is a crappy way to treat friends. It would be bad enough if she hadn't accepted the dancing lessons. She is stealing your joy after she profited from it. You can handle this any way you want, including going and telling everyone you know why you are not dancing. She will end up begging you to. Sorry, my indignation is getting to me. I would tell her one more time how hurt you are. Then I'd decline to go. Comment 2. Not the idiot. This sub has everything, doesn't it? I've heard it's my wedding year, so don't get engaged/married/have a baby because it will take attention away from me. I'm swapping bridesmaids because you won't look good in my photos. I don't want X and Y at my wedding because they will make a scene. They didn't invite us to their wedding, don't like their new partner, looked at me weirdly once. It's a child-free wedding except for these 4 kids because they aren't yours. And now, don't dance or people will compare us to you and we won't win. I'm going to call it nuptialitis, the disease some people get when a wedding is on their horizon. It causes some psychosis, intense egotism, and random behavior. Somebody add this to the medical books. Lowell. Comment 3. Info. Has this happened before, where people have told you that they felt you stole the show from them? Do you always put on a show at every event, intentional or not? Clearly, you have a natural talent that draws attention. But do the people in your life feel in general that you go overboard? This totally may not be a you thing, but it could be the perception. Now for the next story. Today I started community school again to change my career. I went to school early, so I made sure to be on time. The lot in a one-way, and someone pulled out, so I pulled in. I get out of my car to a girl holding down her horn. She said, "Did you not hear me honk?" I said, "I do now." She told me I stole her spot and don't act intentionally blind and to move now. I told her I did not see her, and it's a one-way. You're not really supposed to back into spots. She goes, "Well, move." I told her there's tons of spots, and I would have moved. I don't like the way she approached me over it. She started getting more and more aggressive, so I told her I'm taking a picture of her license plate. She said, "Get me in the photo too." I said, "That's unnecessary." I then said, "I'm videoing my car in case she tries to key it." She then took out her phone and recorded me saying, "This is a witch who steals people's spots." I said, "Be a nicer person next time and leave." I walk to the building and I take out my phone to call my friend to vent. The girl walks up to me, got a parking spot right away, and hits my books and water bottle out of my hand. I went to class and was mad she tried to intimidate and bully me. I then decided to go to public safety and report her. She knocked things out of my hand in front of a camera. They were able to ID her, and she was in a dental hygienist program that is very competitive. They said student conduct is big, and they are taking this very seriously. I said I'm nervous of my car getting keyed. I called my dad, and he told me I was wrong. That just because I was hurt, I didn't need to try to ruin someone's life. We all make mistakes. Am I the idiot for going to public safety for road rage? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. People don't understand that road rage-related actions are actually criminal in this case. She committed assault that was related to parking incident. Knocking out books is assault. In fact, a study showed that a majority of people thought road rage-related actions similar to what occurred in this post were not criminal, nor couldn't get someone in trouble. Parking lots at colleges are dangerous. There are accidents happening constantly, and your dad has the audacity to say you're in the wrong when keying someone's car is actually the least damage I have seen a student do to another. Comment 2. You didn't ruin anybody's life. The woman is mental. Do you really want somebody with anger issues and poor impulse control rooting around in your mouth? No? I know I would rather not. It's in the best interest of everybody that this girl be booted out of her program, or at least be put on the radar of the people in charge so she can be monitored. Your dad is wrong. And good for you for whipping out your phone like that. Get it all on camera, not the idiot. And why don't you post this over on Two Hot Takes? With the violence in the car park, this post would be a better fit there. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You did the right thing. Actions have consequences. Her reaction to losing a parking spot was absolutely unhinged. She physically assaulted you and called you names. Going to public safety was for your own protection. What if you had gotten back to your car and found she had done something to it? Hopefully, she will learn her lesson from this and not behave this way again. It's for her own good, really, because if she keeps it up eventually, she'll find someone who will beat her ass instead of just calling public safety. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.